Hello everybody, Kite562 here with episode 43 of Tentacle Tales of Terror on this June 4th at 4 p.m. So, today's episode is The Horror of Red Hook. Now, I know the reputation of this story, so be sure to sit back and relax and listen to what I have to say about it. I'm not really going to delve on those details within this story, so please go in blind to the story as much as possible and sit back and relax and listen to what I have to say about the horror of Red Hook for this episode of Tentacle Tales of Terror. So, for the plot of this story, Thomas F. Malone, a police detective from New York, who is investigating the collapses of several buildings in the Red Hook district of Brooklyn, New York. And for the first side note, from the very first chapter, I already know I'm going to enjoy this story. However, could have the earthquake been an unpredictable natural disaster, or was it something more in line with the supernatural? That's my question here. And I have to say, for the first notable quote, there had been a collapse of several old brick buildings during a raid in which he had shared, and something about the wholesale loss of life, both of prisoners and his companions, had peculiarly appalled him. The Horror at Red Hook, Chapter 1, page 336. And so for the second side note, I don't know why, but this story really reminds me of the backstory of the film Clive Barker's Candyman, where the residents of Cabrini Green, while the tragic legacy of the Candyman, or Daniel Robitaille, lives on in the hearts and minds to those who remember him, and the tragic tale of when he fell in love. I also love the fact that some residents of Red Hook have their own beliefs or ritualistic practices from pages 342 and 345. It was really well written out in detail with the prose and everything of all the descriptions, and really memorable to me. And I have to say, my first favorite quote is, "Circles and pentagrams loomed on every hand and told indubitably of the strange beliefs and aspirations of those who dwelt so squalidly here." The Horror at Red Hook, page 345. And I have to say, my second favorite quote is, "Age-old horror is a hydra with 1,000 heads, and the cults of darkness are rooted in the blasphemies deeper than the well of Democritus." The Horror at Red Hook, page 353. And for my final thoughts, definitely read the story, but I have to say, go in with an open mind. Please know that it was a product of its time, so just be aware of that. It is very brutal at some points, but don't let that dissuade you. It was a really well thought out and written story of the time. Again, H.P. Lovecraft's work is that humans themselves are so small to what the vast cosmos has in store for them. Like, you really don't know what's out there in the universe as a whole. So I'll just leave it at that. So again, thank you all for subscribing to my channel. Leave a like, comment. What's your interpretation of the Horror at Red Hook? Let me know down in the comments below. So this is Kite562 of Kite562 Books and Manga Reviews signing out. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day, everybody. Later.